you mentioned you use Jostle, is it?
Mm-hmm.
And then you also do you use that for the processes and all the folders, or do you also use I know you have Dropbox. Do you have a Dropbox or Jostle?
So what we do is we use Dropbox as part of the management team. So Rob, I, or Sharon, or Reva, we have Dropbox so that we can organize them internally for the management. The way that we make these available to the employees is through a platform like Jostle. So we have every employee when they are hired, so they get their login, they have their access, you can have their pictures there, and then we have a library. And I can go back there. We have a library, and actually Reva, we are launching that too. And it's gonna be really good for you guys to see that. I'll show you here.
You use Dropbox or let's say a cloud-based folder, and then you use Jostle for the staff themselves.
Yeah.
Before I searched it just a little while ago.
Yeah. It's really beneficial.
Is that it right there?
Yes, this is the Monarch one, and you can see that we have, right here, we have the library, and then we have all the different departments. Oops. So you have the different employees, like say we have marketing. You can actually limit who actually has visibility over there. You have marketing, you have residential tail off, commercial repairs, all the different actually departments. We allow based on the machine, right? So we separated it to mirror the machine, and you can actually put all your documents here, you can upload them here, and you can update them and let your employee know if it was updated or not. You'll get notifications. And you can actually really determine who sees what. You can manage the visibility of things here too. So we use Dropbox for internally, because this won't allow you to adjust a Word document or just an Excel sheet. It's really for more like visual, but employees can download things from here too. So if you upload them and they need to download a procedure, they can do that very easily.
Great. Are you documenting each audit? And if so, how are you guys doing that?
I can give an example of what we did actually. We document them, and we try to actually document them and adjust really as we go. I'll give you an example of what we did. For example, when we got to the management of Monarch Roofing, we had one issue with our I-9s, E-Verifies. I'll just give you an HR example because that's something that's very close to what I do. So we are supposed to have all these I-9 forms and things like that actually stored in a separate way. So we had to go through all the documents and review them all over again, have all the employees sign the I-9s that they didn't have to, and then at the end, we had to write a report and actually save those. So we try to really register those as a history of what we need to do. And the reason why we do that is because we don't know when, for example, you may have an audit from the IRS come in, or Department of Labor, or anybody can come and they're gonna see, okay, you had this failure at that point, but they don't know where you're at today, right? So you wanna make sure that you have the history of the things that you do and actually implement them. So when we save documents in Dropbox and we need to revise a procedure, we know, everybody knows, you do not delete things, right? So you always have version 0 if you need to, version 1, version 2, and then we create a folder that says like older versions, and we leave always the last version there. And sometimes we have the person that actually edited or fixed the document to put their name so that we know who was responsible for doing that. So we do keep the history of everything, you know, just for kind of safety.
Yeah, so you talk about automation. Clearly, I mean, you automate through inside your channel in your company. Are you guys doing client automation? Like where a stage is complete, the client is notified without having to go through that process, or is that something your inside sales are doing?
Well, we do that with follow-up boss. I think Martin or Sharon can even talk about that a lot more better than I can, but we do have the follow-up boss for that. It's really the inside sales process from the beginning, like you send the email confirmation to the customer, and they have specific steps. I would say 5 or 6 emails that's sent out after an appointment is scheduled. Some videos that go automatically to the customer, so they are timed, let's say, 2 days, 3 days, or something like that. They don't have to manually do those, so they're automatically set to go within a certain number of days or even a day or so. So that saves a lot of time for them. We count them as inside sales activities, but then we see that automation is really making that happen a lot faster. Yeah.
When you're designing the inside-outside sales process, at that time, it must have been an innovative idea that you were unsure of if it would work. And there was a matter of like time allocation, resource allocation. How did you, or did you have to convince anybody to get on board with this, and what did that change management look like?
It did. I mean, it was the outside sales part was really kind of there. So all we had to do was take some activities out, right? So they were doing some of the things like job site. They had to go to the job sites and things like that. So we took some of that out. So I would say that for the outside sales, it was actually a winner. You know, they were okay, I'm gonna spend more time with my customers. I'm gonna, get more jobs sold. So the management was great. So management was on board because they saw that what that we're gonna accomplish at the end. I would tell you that for the inside sales part, it was a little bit more challenging because we had a lot of the people in the office that were doing really customer service. They didn't have, when we hired them, they weren't officially trained to do sales. That wasn't really part of what they were hired to do. It was more like a customer service. So we had some issues actually having some of our customer service, sales support, taking the role that was actually the sales. So we had some people that were right on with it. They thought it was a great idea, and some were more like, okay, I don't really think sales is one for me. And what we did was some of these people, we reallocated them to a data admin position. You don't really want to, have to talk to people and convince them to present all the products and things like that. So we really reallocated some of them to different roles. But some of these people, they were really, they just had to find something else somewhere else because they weren't really on board with that. Management was great. Outside sales, they immediately saw the benefit of that. It was easier also for the superintendents. It became clear for everybody what their role was. But the inside sales, just because when we hired, the expectation was a little different. So we had to really understand, okay, this person's strong suit is for something else. We had customer support, so you had some people with C qualities, I would say. A lot of people that are great with documentation and things like that. And we needed people that were really more like drivers or able to extroverted communicate with the customer. So we had to just do some reallocation, and then we had to part ways with some people. That's kind of the nature of the business. So it kind of, comes with changes. So it is what it is.